Good morning. Welcome to Walking Boxing. It is Friday, November 7th, I think it is, 2025. And what started out as being very cool and a little bit wet has now turned into sunny and quite warm, all within the space of half an hour, if you can believe that. And now to the point, I've got my hoodie on here, I need to take it off. It's the sun's starting to come out and it's getting pretty warm. But anyway, the joys of Victorian weather. It's true what they say, where you get 4 seasons in one day. It's crazy. On to the boxing, and a big day, well, big-ish day yesterday with the press conference for the OPETAIA CINKARA fight. I'll get to that in a second. An odd press conference. But anyway, we'll get to that. Firstly, on this day, let's go back to, I'll just go through these. What is it? November 7th, I hope. Yes, it is November 7th. All right, we'll go back to 1978. The legendary heavyweight Gene Tunney passed away in Greenwich, Connecticut. In 1981, Michael Spinks knocked out Vonzell Johnson in the 7th round to retain his World Light Heavyweight Championship. And then in 1988, and again, I say this often, but I remember this fight, or this card, like it was yesterday. It was the big Sugar Ray Leonard, Donnie Lalonde fight in Las Vegas for the World Super Middleweight and Light Heavyweight titles, WBC versions. But also on the undercard was Gilberto Roman with a 12-round decision over Baby Sugar Rojas, and another fight that I remember for the wrong reasons, Roger Mayweather winning a 12-round decision over my favourite, Vinny Pazienza, for the WBC 140-pound title. So this was Sugar Ray Leonard attempting to become, what was it, 5-time world champion. Anything that Thomas Hearns can do, Sugar Ray Leonard wanted to do better. Hearns had been the first to win world titles in 4 divisions the year before, and Leonard thought he would kill 2 birds with 1 stone, which was pretty much maybe the weakest of the light heavyweight champions. Not just that, but also making him go back to, or come down in weight to 168, so losing 7 pounds. So of course it was all stacked in Sugar Ray's favour, but it didn't really matter. It was a great event. Sugar Ray Leonard really made a mess of Donnie Lalonde. He was game Lalonde, but really out of his depth, and was knocked out in the, what would I say, the 9th round? Yeah, the 9th round, and the last combination from Sugar Ray Leonard was just devastating. Just a booming right hand to the chin. Actually dropped him with a left hook and then put him away with a big right hand. And as he went down, I think it was another left hook might have got him. But one thing that a lot of people underestimate with Sugar Ray Leonard was his ability to finish. Unbelievable fighter when he had you in trouble, just the speed and power and everything that he could get you out of there. And we all admire him for his flashiness and the combinations and that Hollywood smile and all the rest of it. But in the ring, when he had you hurt, he was a killer, and he really pulverised Donnie Lalonde in this fight here on the big card in Las Vegas. And on the undercard, as I said, Roger Mayweather with, for me at the time, a very surprising 12-round decision over Vinny Pazienza. Vinny Pazienza wasn't the smartest fighter out there. As much as I loved him, he had no ability to change tact, to maybe change gears, maybe just to take a round where he gathered his thoughts. Nah, it was always full steam ahead, and it was pretty obvious that Roger Mayweather was just sort of picking him apart, countering him, and Vinny Pazienza just could not or would not change anything in that fight and just kept losing round after round. But in the same way, just coming in at 100 miles an hour, just trying to throw combinations, and like his nephew Floyd Mayweather years later, that's exactly what Roger Mayweather liked, and he just stood off and picked Vinny Pazienza apart and won a 12-round decision. Actually dropped him, I think, in the 11th from memory. I can't remember. I think it was the 11th, and really bloodied Vinny Pazienza, and it sort of showed to me anyway that Roger Mayweather was probably a little bit better fighter than what I thought he was. He'd been beaten by Chavez and numerous others, and even though he was a handy fighter, I never sort of saw him as a real elite world champion. But I tell you what, that night, I know Vinny Pazienza's style had a lot to do with it, but Roger Mayweather, yeah, just put on a boxing clinic that night and beat my man Vinny Pazienza. So that was on this day as well. Just a couple of more. What have we got there? 1992, Azuma Nelson with a 12-round decision over Calvin Grove in, where was it? State Line, Nevada, for the World 130-pound title. Of course, we know both of those guys in relation to Jeff Fennick, both Azuma Nelson and Calvin Grove, both knocked out Jeff Fennick in different years. So, and one more thing, I better mention this one. 2011, the boxing heavyweight legend, Smokin' Joe Frazier, passed away in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then 5 years later, Muhammad Ali would follow. And in this year, George Foreman would join the three immortals up there in boxing heaven. So that's what happened on this day in history. All right, so on to yesterday's press conference, and look, as I said, it was odd. Firstly, Jai OPETAIA, this is the CINKARA OPETAIA fight. Firstly, Jai wasn't there. Apparently, his daughter was a little ill. But what struck me right off the bat is the press conference was held in Sydney, not on the Gold Coast, and I don't know why. Now, the reason I'm probably going to struggle with a few different facts here, guys, because I didn't watch it live. I've been trying to get clips and all that sort of stuff, and there's nothing really on the Tasman Fighters page. This is their Facebook page where I'm assuming it would be. I haven't actually thought to check YouTube. Maybe I should do that, but a lot of clips from Australian Boxing Central, as always. The guys there do a great job. But it was outside, which was really puzzling, which meant that there was lots of wind. Of course, the sound just evaporates into thin air. And on top of that, the wind sort of pushing it all around as well. It was really hard to hear. Unless I did see Stan Sport, I'll get to Stan in a second. Stan, they've had a few clips on their page. They're obviously a lot more professional. They had the proper microphones there that you can hear. But just the general press conference, I could barely hear a word they were saying. And it was really hard to make sense of. I could sort of get the gist of what Mick Francis was saying. It's probably along the lines of what he's been saying in the past about Jai, and we all know and agree with what Mick's saying as far as not getting exposure, not getting any publicity, not getting any sort of love, I suppose, from the boxing media. And Stan Sport now coming in, they're of course linked with Channel 9, and he's hoping that this will get Jai more exposure. I'd like to know what happened. Well, I've got a little bit of an inkling of what happened with DAZN. I mean, you remember only a couple of years ago, the big press conference with Mick and all the crew in the DAZN shirts. It was the biggest thing, DAZN coming to town, and we're going to take on Foxtel and Main Event, and all of a sudden DAZN's out, and they're televising Kamil Bella and Victor Vorobev tonight, which doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I thought DAZN was supposed to be coming in and delivering the big events. They're not covering Jai OPETAIA, but they're doing this small show in Melbourne. But anyway, I'll get to that card too, by the way. But for whatever reason, Mick and the crew have decided to part ways with DAZN. Maybe it's a mutual thing, I don't know. I know Mick has spoken in the past about being a little bit disgruntled with the support they get from DAZN and their input and their investment in the sport, or in the events. So I can sort of understand that Mick's obviously got a better deal from Stan, so he's gone with them. But yeah, the press conference, as I said, I couldn't really hear anything that was being said. I did read an article or a few articles after the fact, where some quotes from Mick and the fighters, but awkward on the day. I know it was hard enough not having Jai there. It would have been probably hard to get the media there, but then to have it outside, as I said, with the wind and everything going on, it was awkward. It was an awkward press conference, and I don't know whether it's coincidence or not, but there was nothing in the mainstream media yesterday or today. I've checked here in Melbourne. We've got the Herald Sun, our major newspaper. Not one word about yesterday's press conference. Nothing. Not even a picture. Nothing. So, Peter Bedell, if you're out there and you're watching this, I know this is all in your area. Why wasn't there an article in the Herald Sun yesterday? I'm assuming if it's not in the Herald Sun, it wasn't in the Sydney Morning Telegraph or whatever. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. I know it's all through Code Sports and all this sort of stuff, but I just thought it was odd that our only male world champion has a press conference. I know, again, he wasn't there, but it's the event itself. Surely there could have been some quotes taken from Mick and Justice and whoever else, and Paul Fleming, of course. But nothing. I just would have thought that, yeah, our only world champion fighting in a world title fight in a month's time, there would have been maybe just something to say they'd had a press conference. So anyway, I'm not sure, and I don't think it was the fact that Jai's daughter was sick was the fact it was in Sydney, because it was advertised days before about being in Sydney. So I just think it's, again, odd, it's awkward that they would have a press conference there. Now, obviously there's got to be a perfect reason. I will try and track it down, but very, very hard to get Sydney media to an event that's going to take place on the Gold Coast. And you wouldn't expect, obviously, Queensland media to go all the way to Sydney, although you think the Channel 9 and whoever it might be would have affiliates down there that they could rely on to go cover it. But either way, small turnout, and yeah, just not, I would think, a really great way to launch the event. But I'm sure there'll be bigger ones coming, press conferences. I'm sure they will do one in Queensland at some stage when Jai is able to. So, but yeah, not a lot said, just the usual sort of stuff, I would think. As I said before, Mick just sort of said the same thing. He's probably repeated it at Jai's last couple of press conferences. Justice Honey, or Paul Fleming, of course, he just said it's great to be back and answered a few questions. Justice Honey was sort of speaking, of course, how great it was to be back on a OPETAIA card. Really hard to sort of find some other stuff he was sort of saying that sort of differed from anything else he said in the past. But one thing about Justice Honey, I'm sure it's a lot of people across it, but his trainer, I mean, his new trainer, I wasn't actually aware that he'd parted ways with Mark Wilson, but his new trainer, I won't get it on my phone at the moment, but collapsed in the gym on I think it was an exercise bike or something like that. He's currently in hospital in a coma. They had to perform CPR on him, so that's probably not great for, obviously, Justice Honey, although we are a month out, so I'm sure that emotionally, obviously, it would have taken a huge toll, but I'm sure in a month's time, if his new trainer can't actually be in the corner, they will find someone else for him. Maybe Mark Wilson steps back in, I don't know. Because I know, talking to Mark, it must have been actually earlier in the year when I was at the Nyika fight, that Mark said that he wasn't that stressed about getting back into the pro ranks as being a pro trainer, but did it as a favour to Justice. So I don't think the parting of ways was anything or anything spiteful. I think it was just Mark probably saying that he's out and Justice has got a new trainer. I don't know for sure, but if it was amicable, you would maybe think that Mark might step in for the last 4 weeks of the camp and corner Justice in the fight. So, but yeah, that's not good news that his trainer was in critical condition. Apparently, when he collapsed, they pretty much thought he was gone. That's how bad it was. And I think he had his strength and conditioning coach there who performed CPR and sort of got him back and sort of kept him with us until the paramedics got there. But yeah, he's apparently still in a coma at the moment. So the best of luck to him and Team Hooney, of course, as well. So not the best start for the whole promotion. The Stan Sports thing, look, I totally understand that Mick has decided to go down this path. Having spoken to him a couple of times, I didn't really go into detail, but I really got the impression that he wasn't happy with the DAZN input, as I said before, and investment. So I get it that maybe Stan Sports come along. The problem is that a lot of people don't have Stan, and is this another app that people are going to invest in? Now, I'll be honest, I'm not going to get another app. I'm not going to get Stan. So I won't be able to show it at my pub. How does it work with pay-per-view? Even if I did have it at my pub, how does it work? It's not an official pay-per-view. Do I just stream it and put it on my phone and stream it onto my TV? I don't know how it's supposed to work in a pub situation, that is. But look, I'm just not keen on getting another app, and I haven't been impressed with Stan, to be honest, with a lot of their other events they do. They're just another movie platform, all the same movies and stuff they have, and TV shows, stuff you can get off numerous other apps. So just to get it to get fights. Maybe I'm hoping they do it like a KO situation where you don't need a subscription. You just download the app and you can buy the fight. That's probably a lot better, and I'm hoping that's the case. But I'm not sure what the dollar value is, by the way, either. If they said that at the press conference, I didn't catch it. It's been swept away by the wind, whoever said it. But no, we'll keep an eye on that. But I just think it's going to be a tough one to get people to add another app to the probably library of apps they have to have at the moment. And you think with boxing, I think I mentioned this yesterday, you know, if you want boxing now, it's Netflix, it's DAZN, it's Amazon Prime, it's Paramount, and now we're going to have Stan as well. So it is linked with Channel 9, so maybe that's a thing that maybe Mickey's looking at with Tasman Fighters as far as aligning himself with someone like a Channel 9 where they can probably get a little bit more exposure, maybe. I don't know, but knowing Mick, he's done his homework on it, and he's ready to go. He's done his due diligence, and it's going to be best for all parties. So December 6th, it all comes around, so we'll keep an eye on the update to that. Now tonight there is the big card in Melbourne. Sam Labruna, I think all fighters made weight yesterday. Kamil Bella, Victor Vorobev. Yeah, I'm not that stressed about that fight, to be honest. I think Kamil Bella will probably win that fight, but the undercard with the girls, a couple of really good fights on there. Maya Solomon and Jazzy Parr and Steffi Cutting and Mariah Turner, I think it is. So yeah, good card. So it's on DAZN, so don't miss that one. It should be fantastic. I'll be watching that. And no pay-per-view money having to fork out as well, which is great as well. So that is from the, where is it? Essendon Fields, I think it is. So come on, buddy. Got another dog coming here in a minute, so we'll just keep an eye on that one. What else have we got? I don't think there was anyone else on that card that I really needed to go over with Sam Labruna's card last night. But again, doing good things is Sam Labruna. Now, on the international scene, Oscar De La Hoya, he's back with the clapback Thursday, Friday, whatever it is, and has just taken great pleasure in letting us know about the FBI investigating Dana White. Apparently there's allegations of fight fixing, over 100 fights, and the FBI are fully involved with Dana White now. Look, who knows what will happen, but apparently fighters are coming forward and saying they've been offered money. There's been numerous reports that, well, the UFC as a whole has offered fighters to throw fights in the past, and that's been investigated now. How you doing? So nothing, come here, buddy, come here, come here. Jeez. Big dog. But nothing from Dana White yet, as far as I know, as far as responding to the allegations. But as expected, De La Hoya just loved it. He looked full of beans. Obviously, he's got the fight this weekend with Victor Ortiz and Erickson Lubin, so I was excited about that. But geez, if it is true, it's pretty crazy. I mean, Oscar again took the opportunity to tell everyone what a scumbag he is and how he's going to ruin boxing with the Ali Act being not abolished, but amended or added to. I think that's what Dana White has sort of said he's going to do. So we'll see what happens with that. But that is some serious allegations where over 100 instances of fighters being approached to throw fights. Now, I don't know whether anyone's actually come out and said that they have been paid and how much and all this sort of stuff, but I suppose that's what the FBI will do and investigate and let us all know. But if that is true, that could really cause all sorts of dramas with the UFC. I mean, first of all, it's an unbelievably shitty thing to do if that is the case. But would it affect the TKO boxing thing? Would Turkey Al Sheikh maybe step away and not fund it? Would the networks and everything step away and not be involved in it? Would the fighters, more importantly, say we don't want to be part of that either? Could have some major repercussions, and even just the allegations of it could prove damaging as well. So not great for Dana White, but he has weathered a lot of sort of storms over the years, so I'm sure he'll get through this one. But geez, when you've got 100 allegations of fight fixing against you, it's going to be pretty hard to come back from that one, isn't it? So again, we'll keep an eye on that one as well. And just one more thing, the WBC have stood firm on the women's boxing situation with the 3-minute rounds. They say it's not a sexist thing or anything like that. It's purely just based on science and research and all this sort of stuff as far as women being able to sustain a 3-minute round type of fight. I don't know. I will give them credit. At least they're stating why they don't want to have 3-minute rounds. They reckon they've got all types of data and feedback and all this sort of stuff about why it's not great for women to have 3-minute rounds. So they're going to stand by the decision to only have 2-minute rounds. We've had 3 fighters give up the world title so far. Chantel Cameron was the latest one. So I think Alicia Baumgardner has given one of hers up as well. Amanda Serrano was the other one. There was word that maybe Shanika Johnson might be in the mix, but yeah, I think we just got to look at it in a common sense way and say, all right, well, maybe they need to have a sit down with the WBC, whether it's the management or whoever, promoters, whatever it might be, and just get things in the clear about why they won't do it, rather than spitting the chewy and giving up their belts and all the rest of it. But I'm going to stand with Mauricio Suleiman on this one. I think what he said was, well, it made a lot of sense, and I sort of applaud them for holding the ground for now. But also I understand the girls want equality. I get it. They want to fight 3-minute rounds, but if Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC, can prove what they're saying and why they've taken the stance they have, then at least the girls will know where they stand. But anyway, I'm sure that'll all play out as well. So guys, that's going to do it for today. Have an awesome Friday, and we will catch you tomorrow.